Welcome back to Soul Talk 153. Today our meditation is taken from the epistle of Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 10. We are fools for Christ, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are honored, we are dishonored. We see here contrast between fools and wise, weak and strong, despised and honorable. So the question is, who is wise, strong and honorable? And who is fool, weak and despised? Since Paul was writing this epistle to Corinthian church, it is very clear when he said, we are fools for Christ, which means Paul and his team are fools. And when he said, but you are so wise in Christ, that means Corinthian church members are wise. So likewise, Paul and his friends are weak and despised, whereas Corinthians are strong and honorable. The Apostle Paul preached the gospel which the people thought were not relevant anymore, and they were fed up with the same old traditional gospel. Whereas some Corinthian church workers were very smart and wise and very contemporary, and they thought gospel is no more relevant. So they adopt Greek rhetoric, and they were highly accepted by the people. Paul, Apollo, and all were considered weak because they suffered for the sake of gospel Christ, whereas Corinthian people live in ease and comfort, and they were regarded as strong. A true man of God who sacrificed their life for the sake of Christ was despised, whereas those people who live in luxury were honored. When we reflect this very text in today's context, we may also be facing the same situation in our churches, with the growth of materialism in church, where we give more importance to church architectural building, luxury guest house, convenient parking lots, and extended developmental projects here and there. And also highly qualified doctorate pastors and retired officer deacons, and overcrowded talented youngsters, and so on and so forth, may become seemingly wiser, stronger, and more honorable to the present-day world. In such situation, the church can be easily led astray and give more rooms to heresies and cult which distort gospel and mostly in favor of the contemporary world and more acceptable by the people. Such gospel like prosperity gospel become obvious. In such a world today, if any conservative preachers preaches the same old gospel, or if any person will decide to live a life of true discipleship by denying everything including themselves and take up cross and follow Jesus, I'm afraid such person will not be accepted. They may not get invitation because they are not relevant enough and they are boring and outdated. This same thing happened during the time of Paul. Paul helped establish the church in Corinth, but the church became developed and very good, and it flourished in terms of material, knowledge, people. Their respect for Paul was no more. He is outdated already because he continued to suffer for Christ and preach the same old gospel, which for the people of Corinth was foolishness, weak, and deserved no respect at all. That's why Paul said to the people of Corinth in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 18 to 20. Do not deceive yourselves. If any of you think you are wise by the standard of this age, you should become fools, so that you may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness in God's sight. As it is written, He catches the wise in their craftiness. And again, the Lord knows that the thoughts of the wise are futile. Have a blessed day. God bless you all.